Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel, our social media, or our website. It's in the description below. Reach out to me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a standout 2018 release from Patek Philippe. This is the Nautilus Perpetual Calendar, reference 5740G-001, with a lush and unique blue metallic dial, perpetual calendar, micro rotor automatic, and all white gold construction. This is a rich take on the historic Nautilus design. Now, the timepiece is standard sized for a Nautilus. It's about the size of a 5711, which means it's a 40 millimeter case, though it measures more like 42 across the wings. It's 8.8 millimeters thick, and there are two ways to measure its span across the wrist. There is the lug-to-lug, which is a compact 44.5 millimeters, and then if you include the end link to end link, it's about 49 millimeters. So think of it as about a 49 millimeter span across the wrist. It wears a little bit like a 42 millimeter round watch. As you can see, I say that because you can't pull the bracelet straight down. It does have some flair and fight to it. The heft of this watch is spectacular, and especially given how thin it is, it truly feels surprising. The quality is self-evident. On my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see the over-the-top shot. You can see the cuff shot, so it slides easily underneath the sleeve, and then you can see the down-the-barrel shot. Now, there's plenty of clearance on both sides of my wrist, and I do think that you could probably wear this watch with an oval wrist on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. Once again, you really do feel the solidity of the gold. These are substantial watches even in steel, so to feel them in gold is something else. And so is the finish. We'll talk about that in a moment. It's standard fare for a Nautilus. You can see there is a handsomely executed two-element bracelet with intermediate links, high polish, satin finished primaries, a nice taper down from the lugs. You can also see there's an expanding bevel that flares from the mid case and continues over the lug hood, perfectly aligned from link to link. Satin finishing on the flanks. You will need, if you wish to size this bracelet at home, a punch and a block, easily obtained. It works a little bit different from screw systems. There is a wonderful clasp on this model that features elements of the Calatrava cross internally, looking a bit like a fleur-de-lis, and then there is a twin trigger release, so twin swing arms, and you can see it's a non-sequential close. You can close either side first. Twin trigger release, ensuring that you must press both, not just one trigger, to open up this clasp, giving you a bit more security than the standard Patek Philippe clamshell clasp that you'll find on a steel 5711. The finishing on the watch is extraordinary. It's special to see this watch finished in steel, but to see it executed in white gold is surpassing magnificence. As you can see, a combination of rounded facets, flat facets, creases, and curves with handsome polished highlights and a sophisticated case construction that involves more hand finishing than, for example, the Aquanaut. The complexity of the case is one of the reasons the Nautilus has always been the flagship model and cost more. You do have a screw-down crown. The watch, though replete with case-side pusher adjusters for the calendar, it is 60 meters water resistant, and with the screw-down crown that makes its surface swimmable. You could see the rounded-off polygon of the bezel, reminding you that back in 1976, when Gerald Gent designed the first Nautilus 3700, he was on a 70s kick with the style. He helped pioneer integrated case, bracelet, lug profiles, and of course, a mix of rounded and geometric forms for the bezel. This watch, a close relative of its cousins, the Jumbo Ingenieur at IWC, the Rolex 5100, and of course, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Now, the dial of this watch is different than a standard 5711 because the blue is brighter, whereas the standard Nautilus looks like an aged panel of ultramarine from a Renaissance Dutch master. This is lighter, it's brighter, it's almost like a cobalt metallic, and it's certainly livelier, close to iridescent when you see it in direct light. The hands as well as the indices are white gold in applique, and there will be a lume shot, and you can see it is a perpetual calendar with 3 mono counters. You have the coaxial 24-hour or danger zone indicator with the day of the current date, month, leap year cycle, and you have a coaxial moon phase and radial date. The moon phase has an adjustment interval of once every 122 years. The rest of the watch will need to be adjusted in the year 2100, but until then, the perpetual calendar can deal with leap years and irregular length months. And of course, you have that leap year indicator, so you know when you're in the leap year. Hint, the Summer Olympics is always the leap year. And then you've got that 24-hour dial. It's not just to tell you AM, PM, it's so you know when not to use the case flank pushers. A note about gold. Patek Philippe uses gray gold. gold, which is an 18-karat white gold alloy that never needs to be rhodium plated to be white. So while it's not quite as blindingly white as rhodium plated white gold, it also doesn't need to be replated, and you can't scratch through to a different colored metal. Now, rotating the case, you can see the long-serving, high-end, caliber 240-240Q in this case. Now you can see it's adjusted to 6 positions, pivots on 27 jewels. It has a free-sprung Gyromax style balance, the Patek Philippe seal, and a silicone anti-magnetic hairspring. Those features, the Patek Philippe seal, the Gyromax free-sprung balance, the 6-position adjustment, and the anti-magnetic Spiromax hairspring, ensure that this watch will run from the factory no worse than -3 + 2 seconds a day. That is Patek's attestation. The basic movement, the 240, arrived in 1977. It is quite thin in profile, giving you the big open case vista and the thin profile of a manual movement, but with the convenience of an automatic, as the rotor sits in the same plane as the other bridges. Now, it beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour with a 38 to 48 hour power reserve, and of course it also has the perpetual calendar capability. You'll note that there's engine turning on the base plate in 2 different sizes. There is mirrored ungulage, and I'll do my best to showcase that on the edge of every bridge. You can see it on the edge of the balance cock. All screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots and circumference, and then there are rich Côte de Genève or stripes perfectly aligned across the bridges. It is a thin, fine, high horology movement that looks the part, with all jewel and screw countersinks mirror beveled the same fashion you see on the bridges. One of the most attractive watches of 2018 and still a stunner. This is an everyday convenient perpetual calendar with a timeless style. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the Nautilus Perpetual Calendar by night.